Welcome to the 2023 Winter Classic Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. Now, here are your hosts, Dan Olds and Addison Snell.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another 2023 Intersect 360 Research Winter Classic Invitational Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. I'm Addison Snell. That's Dan Olds. And Dan, boy, this competition keeps heating up. We've got results from the latest challenge hosted by AWS.
This is a barn burner. Man, this is incredible. And AWS, two-time mentor. Last year, they brought the drama with their open foam challenge. Remember that?
That was crazy. Last year, there had been a gap. We thought one team was running away with it. The AWS challenge came out. Another team completely blew it away. And we came out of this open foam challenge where they had to calculate airflow over a motorcycle frame, a real world application. One team found out that they could reduce reduce the refinement of the mesh and keep the same accuracy, and just blew it out on performance.
Boom.
And we were neck and neck with like 2 points separating number one and number two coming out of AWS last year. That couldn't happen again, could it?
No. They shot.
That's a once in a lifetime.
No one's going to do that. No one's going to break that record. Unless
all right, well, what did they have to do this year, Dan? It wasn't a computational fluid dynamics again.
They
went to GROMACS, which in our surveys is the #1 used chemistry code
with
across high performance computing.
Absolutely. You know it. You love it. Molecular dynamics, simulate some proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. Can run on anything from a laptop to a supercomputer. What's not to like, Addison?
GROMACS is a great challenge to do this on. And as we discussed before, AWS gave them a particular challenge not only to figure out the optimal performance, but they had 3 different node instances to choose from. And they were tasked with not only finding the best performance, but the best price performance. And what an interesting wrinkle that is to be able to comment on, because you're coming out of an academic setting, but you want to learn these real world skills. Knowing your best price performance is important as well.
Absolutely. And this was a tough challenge. I mean, the average score on this was 44 points out of 100. The median score was 38.5. And for comparison's sake, the Oak Ridge Challenge had an average of 54 points and 62 points in the median. And Wharf was an average score of 67 and 77. So median.
Yeah, when you see those medians and means on the lower side, that tends to mean that there was a team that did a little bit better than everybody else did, maybe put in a little more work. And
or was it just the other teams had some problems? Why don't we take a look at the leaderboard and let's answer that question?
All right. Well, what happened with the AWS GROMACS challenge? The scores for AWS at the bottom of the leaderboard, we had 2 teams didn't get their submissions in.
It was rough.
It doesn't mean they didn't do any work.
No.
But get to the end and the finish line. Did you submit results? 2 schools there didn't get them in. A couple schools with lower scores there as well. Yeah.
Again, not an easy run. It's tough. And, in this echelon, we're looking at Prairie View with a little over 23 points, UTEP, New Mexico, Morehouse, Florida A&M, and Jackson State, as we say, were snake bit on this one. Let's take a look at the next tier.
Next tier up, you've got some teams in the 50s who are getting more than half of the overall performance score of the top team. Texas Tech Red Raiders have been consistently in there, and Cal State Channel Islands, the results not guaranteed team, again with solid performance.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when we go a little higher. Here we go. Now we're getting into the 80s with the Cal State Channel Islands, High Performance Dolphins coming in at 85. Slightly ahead of them, the Texas Tech Matadors, who seem to have a lock on 3rd place and everything. But look at that, Cal Poly Pomona, solid 2nd.
Cal Poly Pomona has been consistently strong throughout this competition. We're going to see how that affects their overall standings. But for the 3rd straight challenge, the top score going to the UC Santa Cruz Not so slow slugs. The slugs have
Yeah.
been dominant in recent challenges, and they put up the top score.
And they've been surging from behind. They've been locked in with the Channel Islands High Performance Dolphins team for first place. And so far, Channel Islands has held them off. But is this win big enough to put the not so slow slugs up on top?
We will see, but I will say before we go to the overall leaderboard, this was not an accident. When we were talking to the mentors, and we'll get to a full mentor interview soon, but I understand that when they looked at the total number of cycles and how many runs people did, Santa Cruz put in substantially more work than the other teams. I heard that a third of the overall cycles in this challenge were consumed by the slugs. They were doing that much more work than everybody else, and it resulted in a top score.
They did all the permutations on all three systems, and they turned in one hell of a report. Not that everybody else didn't, but this one, wow.
Yeah, we were looking at that report thinking all we need to do is write an introduction and a conclusion. We could sell that white paper. That looked pretty good.
Well, actually, we are. So
I don't know if we have rights. Well, let's check the fine print, see if we can do that. All right. You were saying the leaderboard. Before we add in AWS, let's remind everybody where we've been with the Channel Islands High Performance Dolphins team has been in that number one spot pretty consistently since they had the top score on the pop quiz. But right behind them, and with an ever narrowing margin, the Santa Cruz Not So Slow Slugs, which had a slower start on the pop quiz, have had only an increasing score ever since then. And as we said, just put in their third straight top score from the number 2 position.
Matador's solid number 3. Cal Poly Pomona, not so solid last time. They're getting pushed by University of New Mexico, who's getting pushed by UTEP.
All right, now let's look at the updated leaderboard with AWS. At the bottom, we've got the scores that are on there. We don't have any zeros here. Everyone's been playing. Everyone's participating. There's good experience out there, but a few scores that just didn't hit the mark on this most recent challenge.
Yeah, Florida A&M, Jackson State, Morehouse did put in a score. That's good. Let's take a look at the next echelon up into the 300s.
Up into the 300s total. We've got some teams that have been consistent here. The Prairie View A&M, last year's champs, are in there in the 300s. The other CSU Channel Islands team, results not guaranteed. The Texas Tech Red Raiders, UTEP, University of New Mexico, first-time participants in this challenge, are in the top of that 300s echelon.
Still close, though. So let's go to the next one. Here we go. In the 400s, Cal Poly Pomona has built themselves with this application a very comfortable lead over University of New Mexico. It looks like they've locked in 4th place.
Well, and maybe they got a shot at the podium as well, but they're the only team in the 400s right now.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens after that.
Here we go. 2 more teams added to our leaderboard. The Matadors, again, holding down 3rd place, which is good. And, there's only 100 points left with the interview. So I'm going to say that Cal Poly Pomona is probably pretty safe in 4th.
Yeah, tough for them to make a leap all the way up to 3rd. I guess we've seen crazy things happen in this student cluster competition in the past. So keep swinging away in Pomona.
Yeah.
But it looks like Texas Tech Matadors, UC Santa Cruz still in 2nd.
But
by how much?
That's the big question. You ready to see the answer?
Let's see it.
2 points.
Holy smokes. The high performance Dolphins from Cal State Channel Islands holding on to that first place spot by 2.09.
They are
a total 600 points awarded.
They're holding on by 1 flipper.
Wow.
1 flipper. Just, man. And the thing is, it's really hard to make up, 30, 40, 50 points in an interview. But 2 points and change?
We got the interviews still to come. We're going to talk to these teams. And after 3 straight victories in the last 3 challenges, Santa Cruz is right there. It is down to them and the Dolphins, it would seem, for the number 1 spot.
Can they put it away, though? Can the Dolphins put it away with a good interview? They can, a solid, very good interview. But damn, you can't call this. It's just way too close.
Yeah, well, who wins in a fight, a slug or a dolphin?
I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphin.
I think it really depends on where the fight takes place. If it's in a redwood tree, that's not good.
That's not good dolphin.
That's not good dolphin territory.
Dolphin had better get their shots in quick if they're in a redwood tree. Well, this has been exciting. I didn't think it would be this exciting 2 years in a row.
It's not possible. How can you ask for that?
No, I figured one of these teams would dominate and everybody be fighting over 4th, 5th, and 6th. But no, again, 2 points.
And too close to call. And beyond that, what we've really been hearing from the mentors pretty consistently, and we'll talk to AWS next, is that all of these teams have students that are in there doing it, which is really the main point.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the engagement with the students overall. Everybody's on the leaderboard. Everybody's learning about HPC and getting these results in. And that just, I'm thrilled to watch this competition go on.
Isn't it fantastic? But you know
really
what?
Is.
All good things must come to an end.
And we're
winding up. Yes. Last event,
team interviews.
We've got a bunch of team interviews. Last event, this interview is worth 100 points. And it's going to tell us the story. And then our next event coming up on Friday is the online gala award ceremony, which will be this Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And we will be sending links out. It'll be in the HPC Wire story. We'll send them out through social media. You're going to see how this shook out.
That's
and plus,
Friday, April 14th, 4 p.m.
Yes.
Pacific time, the final announcement of all the winners.
And we're going to reveal them and the Bruckner Award scholarship recipients. We'll push this out through social media and every way we possibly can, including signal flags. So there's that.
The Bruckner Awards named for our late great friend, Rich Bruckner from Inside HPC, who was a great supporter of student cluster competitions.
He loved these things. He used to come over to me and ask, hey, who's winning? Who's on top? Who do you like? Who do you like? Let me go talk to him. It was great. So follow the competition on our media partner, HPC Wire. Check us out on social media. Give us a tweet and be there at the Gala Award ceremony.
We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching. See you on Friday.